Christina and you're watching Proud Bookline. And today I'm doing 3 things to talk about, bookish things to leave in 2017. So today I have 3 bookish things that I think we really should leave in 2017. And this is absolutely inspired by Jan Green's video. I can actually link that down below. I just saw it and I just thought about this. So yeah, let's get started. So number 1 is judgment off and lack of trigger warnings, because a lot of people, at least on Bookish YA Twitter, have been judging people for needing and wanting trigger warnings. My lovely friends Fadwa and Laura have actually created like a database for trigger warnings for just YA books. You should check that out. I'll see if I'm able to link that. I'll try to link that down below. But trigger warnings are so crucial, and I believe that every reader has the right to make their own informed decision whether or not to read the book. Because if the book might actually risk their mental health or even their physical health, then they should not have to read that book. And they should not go into books without knowing what they are actually about to read. At least that's my opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. But honestly, please do not judge people for wanting to know what a book contains. And you can call that spoilers if you want to, but you don't have to read the trigger warning page. Like, please. I really just want to see in 2017 more pages like this. It doesn't have to be any more like that. This is a page that the people that want to read about the trigger warnings are able to read. If you don't want to, you can just skip and start reading. It's not that hard, and honestly, please do not judge people for wanting to have trigger warnings. It's just so, like, please stop doing that. Let's just leave that in 2017. Number 2 is actually the statement, you have to read this, because I know when you're excited and you want people to read a book that you absolutely love, you can say stuff like that. I've said a lot of stuff like that. I've said you need to read this, you have to read this, you should read this. All of these statements that are like, usually the intentions are very well meaning and there's nothing bad or nothing prejudiced like behind them. But they do become problematic, because when I say you have to read this, I'm giving you no choice. Because what if the book triggers you? What if you're not able to get the book? Maybe your library doesn't have it. Maybe you live in a city or country where the book is forbidden. Maybe you're not able to get it from the library, you're not able to get it from the internet, you're not able to pay for the book. Maybe you're not able to read it because you do not read in English and the book only exists in English. That statement in itself can be very hurtful to a lot of people, and you don't take in consideration that there are people that are unlike you, that might not even like that kind of book. You do not have to read a book that I recommend, and I think that's something really important to say. And if you want to say, you have to read that, or you have to read this, or you have to read this, or you should and you need to read this, please add something a little. Like, why not say, you have to read this if you're interested, or you really need to read this if you've liked this book before and you're not triggered by this. I still don't really like the statement, but it's better. And please read this if you're able to. There we have it. Because it comes down to if you're able to and if you're willing to. And books, at least for me, is something fun, and it's something I do in my spare time, and it's something I do to relax, and it's my outlet when I feel down. So I really think it's really important to not force anybody to read anything, because that's not what reading and this community should be about. Lastly, thing number 3 is diversity as a trend. Because a lot of people have said like this is a diversity train that's going around right now, so that's why we're getting a lot of characters with skin colors, for example, like brown and black, or if the characters are Asian, or if they're African, or if they're like European but like not American, which is the usual thing when it comes to YA. And we get a lot of main characters somewhere on the LGBTQIP+ spectrum. Like, we get a lot of characters that have traits and personalities and identities that we are not used to, which is something great. But please do not say it's a trend, because these people exist. There are so many people that exist and are finally starting to see some aspect of themselves. Because as it's still a trend, it's very fearful for YA to have a character that has 2 of these diverse traits. You cannot have a black main character that also happens to be bisexual, that also happens to have a mental illness, that also happens to have 2 fathers. That's a bit too much for YA, it seems like, right now, which is really annoying. And that is why it should not be treated as a trend, because these are real lives out there that look exactly like the characters that we are finally getting to see. There are so many people that have never ever been able to see themselves represented, and now they start to see some few aspects of themselves represented in books, and we're going to treat that as a trend that will quickly, like, fade away. Like, honestly, would you treat a human life like, oh, we don't have to worry about that right now? Or, she's being popular and she gets to be in the spotlight right now, but she'll fade away because she's not important. Like, no. All human lives are important, and it's super duper important for books, and especially YA, to show this. So, no, diversity is not a trend, and it should not be treated as a trend. It should be treated as something that we are finally getting to see in books, which is something that we should be very happy about and that we should encourage. Like, we need to tell the publishers and we need to tell the authors that are doing this amazing work that we love this, we need more of this, and that their work is important. Because their work is not a trend, and their work will, just as Harry Potter has stayed throughout the times, their work has also that possibility to stay and become a classic. Even if they happen to have diverse characters, which overall, diverse only means real life. It means that the books that we are reading are finally showing us our reality. Because in all honesty, I live in a super duper white town. I've gone to a super duper white school. But even within that, we have had people in my class that have not been Swedish, that have not been white. I'm bisexual. A lot of people, like every fifth human, has some kind of mental illness throughout their lives. Are you really trying to tell me that your white cis het allo totally fine normal humans are like an actual reality? I want diversity, or rather I want reality be seen in my books that I read, and I really hope that I will read more diverse books, or rather I don't even want to call them diverse, because I just want to read books showcasing reality and not only my reality as a cis white girl. Honestly, that's maybe just my opinion, but please, even if you like reading about your cis, white, straight, allo main characters, that's fine. You read about those, but do not treat diversity as a trend, because it's not a trend, and hopefully it's here to stay if we keep encouraging the publishers and the authors. Those were my 3 things to talk about, 3 bookish things to leave in 2017. Do you have anything to add to this list? Please feel free to let me know down below, or make an own video like this. I would love to see. Now, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me, and have a great day /night /whatever part is for you. Bye!